Welcome back to the Vegan Test Kitchen, everyone. Today, we are making the ever-intimidating tamale. So you're gonna need some corn husks. Don't freak out. I know it sounds scary. Just go by the cookbook, drink a little wine, you'll be fine. All right, everything that you need is listed below. Let's get started. All right, like I said, the first thing you're gonna need is corn husks. Now you can get these at most big grocery stores in the ethnic aisle. Go there. If you can't find it, just get it online, like I did, because I went to one store and then I gave up. Now you need 1 to 2 corn husks per tamale. You want to give them a good rinse. You want to make sure that you get any dirt that might be in there, any of the strings, any of the silk part of the husk. And then we're gonna put them in a pot with warm water. We're gonna let them soak for at least 20 minutes. So essentially, just do this at the beginning. Let them stay in the pot the entire time, because you want them to become pliable. If there are any that you see that are particularly moldy, just throw them out. And if you have a problem keeping them down, just stick a plate on top. All right, pot lid works much better. Okay, now that those are soaking, we're gonna start on our tamale dough. All right, so this ingredient is also kind of special. If you're not used to making tamales, you're gonna need masa harina corn flour. You need 4 cups of that. If you're wondering what that is, they use lime in the processing of the corn flour. And that's all I know about it. 4 cups of vegetable broth. Add 2 teaspoons of baking powder, olive oil, or corn oil, and a half a teaspoon of salt. And we're gonna mix this with an electric beater so a nice, soft, fluffy dough forms. All right, we're gonna cover this with saran wrap and let it sit while we're doing everything else. So now we're gonna start on our filling. You're gonna need a red bell pepper, a carrot, some garlic, corn, chipotle peppers, and some other stuff. So get to chopping. Fun fact. Tamales date back all the way to the Aztecs, Mayans, and Incans. And they were thought to be originally developed as a way to transport food. And yes, there is a National Tamale Day, and it actually just became a holiday a few short years ago back in 2016. And we celebrate it on March 23rd. And don't forget your onion. Need a bigger cutting board. Now, out of your chipotle pepper can, you want to get a 7 or 7.5 ounce can because you're going to use some of the liquid as well. I love the smell of chipotle. Okay, so you're going to need 2 chipotle peppers. And you're gonna wanna mince these. Now, you can do more than 2 if you want, but you know, it's gonna be more spicy. You're gonna drain a can of black beans or pinto, grab a large skillet, put this on a medium-high, and I just realized I put the wrong measurement of olive oil into the dough. It's supposed to get 1/3 cup, I put in 2 tablespoons. So we're gonna go back to the dough, add the extra olive oil, give it a good mix, see if that changes the texture a bit. And we're gonna add our olive oil into our skillet, 2 tablespoons. And we're gonna saute our garlic and our onions. We're gonna do this for about 5 minutes. All right, now we're gonna add our pepper and our carrot. And we're just gonna saute these for about 3 minutes. All right. And now we're gonna add everything else except for the salt. So let's put in our beans, frozen corn, vegetable broth, tomato paste, cumin, our chipotle peppers, and 2 tablespoons of adobo sauce. And we're gonna saute this until most of the liquid evaporates, about 5 to 7 minutes. Okay, it doesn't look like there's much liquid left. So now we're gonna add our salt, at least a half a teaspoon, give it a taste, see if you need to add more. Now you wanna turn off your heat, let it cool, and then we'll start assembling. Now, there is one thing that I must point out. If you are following along at home with your own Veganomicon cookbook, you might notice that there was an ingredient missing from the dough. That was the salt. They did add it in the updated version of the Veganomicon, but not the first edition. And because of that, I checked the new book, which I also have, and they have a completely different way to create the tamale. Here are the directions for the original Veganomicon. Take a corn husk and lay it flat. Spread about 2 tablespoons of dough off-center, leaving a 1.5 inch margin from the top and bottom of the husk. Spread a heaping tablespoon of filling in the center of the dough, then top with about 1 tablespoon more of dough. Carefully roll up the tamale, making sure to completely encase the filling in the corn husk. Tie both ends securely with either heavy-duty kitchen string or simply tear a corn husk lengthwise into thin strips and use that. Now, the new way to roll up a tamale. Take a corn husk and lay it flat. Spread about 2 tablespoons of dough off-center, leaving a 1.5 inch space from the top and bottom of the husk. Pat the dough to about 1/4 inch thickness and roughly oblong shape. That's good to know. Spoon a heaping tablespoon of filling in the center of the dough. Lifting both edges of the corn husk, fold the dough over the filling. Now tuck one edge of the corn husk under the opposite edge of dough and firmly roll any remaining husk to form a tube. Make sure to completely encase the filling in both the dough and the corn husk to prevent anything from spilling out while steaming. Tie both ends securely with either heavy-duty kitchen string or simply tear an extra corn husk lengthwise into thin strips and use those as ties. This way seems a lot more difficult. My Amelia Bedelia brain can't wrap around it. Okay, now that we have our beautiful tamales, we're gonna grab the same pot that we had. If you have a steamer basket, this is where you're gonna wanna get that out. All right, we're gonna turn this on a high and let it come to a boil. Let's loosely pack these in here. Cover it up, and we're gonna steam this for about 35 to 40 minutes. You wanna check on the water every 15-20 minutes or so because you don't wanna have that dry. All right, it's been about 40 plus minutes, so let's check our tamales. So the only way that you can really, the only way that you really know if a tamale is done, per the cookbook, is you gotta take it out and you gotta unwrap it. But first we're gonna let them cool for about 3 minutes. So I'm gonna grab one. You know, if it separates from the husk fairly easily, it should be done. All right. I think we're about good. All right, looks like we had one casualty. Not too bad. There's a little bit of leakage coming out of the other ones, but not terrible. Let's try it. I will have to say, this is awfully cute. I mean, it did come out pretty well. As you can see, this one did. It's nice and firm. I would say that the dough is either perfect or it's just like slightly overcooked. It's not dry, but I think maybe the 35-minute mark instead of the 40 would be good. But you don't know, you gotta test it, you know. It has a good flavor and stays together, which is good. Has a little bit of a kick to it. Got the nice Chipotle Peppers in there. Put some guacamole on it, and come on. So, I have to say, you know, they're pretty good. I'm fairly impressed with myself. I am curious to see, this is how they told you to wrap it in the new edition, and I don't have a good feeling about it. First of all, I don't think I wrapped it right. I don't know what the hell this is. I mean, it's still gonna taste the same. All in all, I think the way to wrap them, really what it comes down to, is from the first edition. Tighten it up, roll it up, tie it up on both ends. You got that nice, cool look. So just do that. If you're feeling adventurous, do this. You might get a little nervous. I did. But you'll push through, and it'll taste good in the end. I hope you liked what you saw. If you did, hit a thumbs up. I would love you for it. Make sure to comment and share and subscribe and all that good stuff. I will see you all next time.